Bought 22 rental units in only 18 months, and now I regret it. Just to show you, here's a 2-unit property I own. Here's another one that's a 6-unit apartment building. And here's another one. And here's another one. And there's
Real estate investing for beginners. She owns 22 rental units and she stay broke. What happened? In this video, we're gonna look at what went wrong and how you could do much better. And at the end of the video, I'm gonna show you how I could retire with just $10,000 and you will be amazed. I'm gonna show you step by steps. So now let's see what went wrong with our real estate strategy, okay?
my business partner. We roughly cash flow on an average of $600 per month, and that's per unit. And on a monthly basis, that comes to $13,200. And on an annual basis, each year, that comes to $158,400. And that's a big cash flow amount just for only owning 22 units. Now that we talked about the money side of things, you're probably thinking to yourself,
that's quite a big amount, right? So if you look at our cash flow, right, $600 per unit and $13,000 every month and $158,400 from 22 rental units. So there must be something going on why she regrets it and why she stay broke, right? $158,000 is a dream for most Americans. But I could show you how I could achieve much better and with less stress and more freedom, you know, time freedom, financial freedom, location freedom. Those are very, very important. And we're gonna see the dark side of real estate, right? It's all glamorous to think, oh, she owns 22 rental units, she must be very rich, right? So, but there is something going on that we all can learn from her, and let's look at it.
And things happen. So a roof could go out, an HVAC system could go out, you know, windows could need to be replaced, and those are some pricey items. And that starts to add up. Look, think about it. Let's say you own a single family house and
right, things add up. So we're gonna look at the main maintenance items that we're gonna face as a real estate investor, and we're gonna see how it will be really hard to cover those costs, right? If it really happens. So let's see. So a typical rental unit is usually you only get $100 to $200 per unit. Only $200. Let's say you get $200, right? So let's see you have to replace the roof, right? The roof replacement is average $9,000. Yes, I had to replace a roof on my house too, so that costs about $9,000. That's right. So if it's $9,000, let's say you have to replace it the first year you own the rental unit, right? Especially she owns 22 rental units, so I wouldn't be surprised one of them have, at least a few of them have a big ticket items, right? So just say 9,000 because that's what I paid, you know, almost the same around there for my roof replacement. And it will be really hard to find 5,000. It really has to be really small unit, right? For the average, say 1,700 square feet to 2,500, so it's around 9,000. So say you cash flow 200 a month. So how much it takes to break even? 45 months, right? 45 months and you divide it by 12. 3.75 years. That's quite a lot of years to get break even. We are not talking about some other items. We are not even talking about vacancy, right? We are not even talking about potential lawsuit from the tenant. We are not even thinking about headaches, right? We are not even talking about the risk of not paying rent, probably squatting. Some of the states you can sometimes they're not gonna pay rent and they're gonna stay in your units for free, right? Then you're gonna end up paying everything, right? So that's almost 4 years. And suppose another one, AC, right? The roof is good, but another rental unit has AC breaks down. Wow, that's another 5,000. Just say 5,000. Yeah, 5,000 is about right. And say 200 cash flow. 25 months, 2 years. So if we have any big ticket items, we are looking at least 2 years, right, to cover the cost. So that's quite a lot of cost to cover. So that's probably one of the reasons why she's broke. And there are some of things that you need to be aware of once you have rental units, and let's see what she says about it.
And I want you guys to know that when you are dealing with rental properties, you need another source of income just to help you sustain. Because as I just said, you will be equity rich and cash poor if you do it this way and just build and scale so fast. So that other source of income that we took into consideration was wholesale deals. But unfortunately for us, our wholesale deals were very, very inconsistent. So we weren't making really any money from that. It was just the money from our cash flow. But you gotta think about it, for us, there were some things that did need repaired. And when we had no money coming from wholesale.
Right, so when you own rental property, in order for you to cover all these cost items, especially if you're just starting out, you need other incomes. So don't quit your job yet, or don't quit your other business, whatever, and try to have as much income as possible and to have this, to start this rental property and to keep it going. And we're gonna look at a few other ways you can supplement your income for that as well. So let's see what's gonna be like. So what are the other ways that you can do to supplement? You can become a realtor and you can become a mortgage broker, right? So, and you can possibly have your full-time jobs, so that you're gonna be working 7 days a week, quite a lot of numbers. And if you don't have money to pay for those, what can you do? And let's look at what she did to pay for the repairs that she didn't have money for, that she doesn't have the income cover for.
If you have no money from your personal pocket. Well, the bad thing we've done that I don't recommend is we just put it on credit cards. And that's where you get into a hole. And that's why I'm making this video, because I don't want you guys.
If you put it on credit card, that would be quite a horrible way to put it on your credit card, especially if you have to pay interest and you cannot pay the statement balance every month, right? So another way that you could do, if you know that there's a big ticket items coming up that you have to purchase or you have to repair, what you can do is you can go to my video link in the description or comment down below and get a new credit card. Right, click here. If you click here, then you could get potentially $100 just to open an account, and you could get interest free for 12 months. So that's a 12 months interest free loan that you can use it to cover, right? So open a credit card. The link is gonna be in the description down below. I have a few that you could use. If you open 2 or 3 and those are interest free, then that could potentially cover your rental units for like the next 1 or 2 years. You don't have to worry about paying interest. Just remember to pay minimum interest, minimum payment, remember. And to reduce maintenance costs, what you can do is to have a reliable maintenance expert on your team. Or you could become a good handyman, right? If you become a good handyman, or you don't have to call handymans every time something breaks down, that's gonna help quite a lot. And let's see what she says.
Make sure you're fully fixing them up, just so you're not getting calls in the middle of the night of tenants saying, oh, my toilet's broken, where if you just get a brand new toilet, then you're less likely to have that issue. So just repair your properties up from the jump instead of having someone move in right away, and make sure you have your right, proper systems and processes in place. Now,
if you have properties, if you bought a properties that doesn't need any fixing up, which could be really rare, because if you want to get a good deal, you have to buy properties that's fixed up Apple, or that's rent down, and that's how you get a good deal, right? If you could get a good deal, then yeah, you have to fix it up, and you need to know how to fix it up. If you have good contractors, that's great. If you are yourself a handyman, that's also good too. And let's see how she managed this thing.
Route, and I want to take a different approach where I want to focus on limiting those mortgages, having a consistent income, and having a good amount of money in reserves. Because to be honest with you, I'd rather own 30 properties that are 100% paid off than 100 properties that have mortgages on them and only cash flow $300 a door. Because you.
So now those are problems. She doesn't want to pay mortgages on that because it's a cash flow is really low. If you have no mortgages, then your cash flow is much higher. But remember, cash flow, if you are borrowing mortgage, then you are using other people's money to leverage it, right? The downside will be if you have more vacancy, then you are in trouble. But the upside is that you could scale up your real estate business pretty quickly using other people's money. And also at the same time, that you have your bank kind of try to get appraisal for the property, because they know that they're not going to loan you more than what your property is worth. So you have some type of protection. But if you are paying cash for your properties, there is no appraisal required. So you could be overpaying your properties that if you don't know your business. That's really, really, really important. And there's a much better way. That's my way, right? I don't like to invest in real estate because that's much easier with more financial freedom, time freedom, location freedom. I can use it anywhere around the world. I don't have to be in the States. I don't have to be in one place. So I'm going to show you how I retire with just $10,000. So let's say I have you have 13,000, right? 13,000 or even 10,000. So if you sell put options on NVIDIA, you sell put option for next week, February 21st, you have 2.86, you get premium. So that put option buyer pays you that. So what does selling put option means? You are guaranteeing on or before February 21st, you're gonna buy 100 shares at $130 per share. Anytime on or before February 21st, he can come and sell his 100 shares regardless of the stock price. If the stock drops to $100, he's still gonna get $130 per share from you. So as an insurance, he pays you 2.86. So you multiply with 100, $286 a week, right? A week. So if you get $286 a week on your 13,000 investment, right? $286 just for 4 weeks. How much you can get? $1,144. Much better than real estate, which is cash flow of only $100 to $200 per month, right? Much better, right? And if you multiply just 286 with 52 weeks, how much are you getting? $14,872. That's more than double your money. More than double your money, right? So that's how I made over 100% last year. From January 5th, 2024 to January 3rd, 2025. Yeah, 1 year, more than 100%. My 401k, I don't get to use advanced option a lot because there are limitations. So I only return, of course I use my stock investing methods, so I only return 63.1%, but individual account I could use all my advanced option strategy, like selling options every day. So I return gain over 100%, right? So that's 13,000. Yeah, if you don't want to use 13,000, you can even use 10,000. Of course, your premium will be much lower, right? But you could choose other stocks. You don't have to choose Nvidia, right? You can choose other stock like Palantir. Let's say, let's continue talking about $130. So you keep selling that amount, right? Keep selling that amount. So 14,872. So you will be so happy. Oh, I only do use my 13,000 to gain 14,872 a year, 100%, right? Wouldn't you be happy, right? So you can use Palantir. So it's less than 130. So right now $113. So trade Palantir options. Click put, sell, click next week, 1 week. We're gonna give it time 1 week, right? Then 1 week, $100. Then you get $84, right? $84 per week into 52 weeks. Yeah, 52 weeks in a year. So you are still getting 4,368 at your home. You don't have to deal with maintenance, you don't have to deal with mortgage, insurance, you don't have to deal with tenants, you don't have to be in one place. You have more time freedom and location freedom. Yeah, you definitely could get financial freedom, right? So if you use 10,000 L, you just, hey, if you start making money, you could use 13,000 instead of 10,000, right? For Nvidia, 13,000, you get 286, remember at the time, 286 per week, 52 week. Then you could go to some cheaper retirement countries, right? There are cheaper retirement countries. So in 1 month, it's 1,239. You could live on that. Yeah, you can rent an apartment for 500, 600. You can spend another 300 for food, everything. Then you could save money. If you spend only 800 on everything, you could save money like extra 400 every month. So that's much better. That's how I could retire on just 10,000. You know, of course my performance is much better, and you could see I made more than 100,000 in 1 month from January 1st to January 31st, and you could see that within 2 days. January 1st is public holiday, January 4th is Saturday, so January 2nd and 3rd, only 2 days, my portfolio gained over 33,000. So you might ask, hey, how much money do you use to gain like this 100,000, right? 100,000, and I only use 200,000 plus. So if you just double return 100% every year, it's much better than real estate. Much better, and you don't have to deal with banks, tenants, maintenance, contractor, and you don't have to have all the headaches that comes with real estate investing. So if you want to learn more, go to Master Risk Stock Option Crypto, go to my playlist. You can learn about advanced option trading. If you want to have a mentorship call, the link gonna be in the description comment down below as well. So I will see you in the next video.